Are you a childless dog lady? Are you a childless cat lady? If so, you are not alone, and this video is speaking directly to you. Before we get into the video though, just between us, what the hell is going on? How bananas is this? You know, I know for some of us, I'll speak for me. For me, the fact that this has kind of came up from underground, you know, I had heard about this interview like 3 years ago. This hit my radar. And I remember at the time thinking, yo, why isn't this more mainstream? Particularly since nobody even checked him on it. But then, you know, I thought to myself, well, this is actually something that I feel every day in terms of feeling misunderstood, feeling judged, feeling looked at a little funny or thought of as a little funny because I'm a woman of a certain age with no children. The fact that this has sort of creeped up and that there is a major backlash around it is actually feeling a little validating. That, yeah, these feelings that I can't really put my finger on, but I feel it from people, is actually laid out right in front of us. So there's an element that I feel really validated that this is come to the surface. And then there's another element where I really like that there's just a major pushback from lots of different people. So many people, whether they're experiencing infertility or they know somebody who can't have children or they know somebody who doesn't have children, I think it's starting to happen more and more. And so people kind of had this response of like, you're talking about me here, and that's not okay. So while this has kind of taken on a life of its own, you know, there's merch now with these phrases on it. I also wanted to just have a conversation within this community because while it feels good that people are like, that's a ridiculous thing to say, buddy, there's also can stir up some of that hurt or some of that grief. While this phrase has taken off and it's taken a life of its own, it's kind of turned into this like political machine versus a really real pain point in a lot of people's lives. So I'm going to talk a little bit about being a childless dog mom. Being a childless dog lady or a childless cat lady isn't a bad thing. It can feel hurtful. It can feel hard at times, particularly when you are childless, not by choice. But it doesn't mean that you're less than, and it for damn sure doesn't mean that you're alone in this world. For those of you who are new to the channel, I have a dog. I have a Great Dane. His name is Gavin, and he's 3 years old. He'll be 4 in October, and has been a really instrumental piece of my healing, and it's a huge part of my life. He's the first dog I've ever had, so I was a little nervous about getting a dog, but it was during the pandemic. I had transitioned to working from home and thought this is the perfect time to do it. The pandemic was also particularly difficult because I'm single and again, don't have kids. And so I was spending a lot of time alone and thought, you know, maybe now is the time to get a pet. Do I treat my dog like he's my kid? Yeah. Yes, I do. And I'm not apologizing for that. He is a living being that deserves to feel loved. He deserves to be taken care of. And he deserves to be an integral part of my world because I've purposely brought him into my world. So yeah, I treat him like he's my kid. Do I think Gavin is the same as a child? No, I'm not an idiot. I'm not delusional. I'm not a moron. I don't think that he is a replacement for a child. I'm not having to save a college fund for Gavin. I'm not having to pay an exorbitant amount in daycare. But he is in my life. Sometimes when you're childless, not by choice, it can be really hard. And he makes it better. And I am going to acknowledge that he brings lots of value, huge enjoyment into my life. And so why would somebody have a problem with that? Do I love him like a child? I don't know. I've never had a child. I don't know what that love is like. What I do know is that I love him more than anything. I love him so much it hurts, I think, sometimes. In fact, one of the things that I think has been really healing for me is he has been an opportunity to remind me that I am capable of loving, that this grief and difficulty related to not having children has been really, really difficult, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to experience love in my life. And he has been really healing for that. He is somebody that reminds me and is a daily reminder that I am able to experience love and enjoyment and excitement because I have this beautiful being that loves me and I love him. So if you're a dog mom or a cat mom, it's okay if you prioritize your life around them. It's okay if you make adjustments in your plans. It's okay if you plan trips related to them. It's okay if you don't do certain things because you want to go hang out with them. It's important to have some balance, right? But it's okay that you prioritize them into your life, particularly if one of the reasons you're doing that is because you love them, they bring you joy, they're a highlight in your life, they give you motivation, they give you energy, they give you a reason to maybe go on a walk each day, they give you a reason to go plan new things, they give you a reason to love your environment, to be home. It's okay for you to prioritize the thing in your life that does that. Ignore the noise from the people who have a very clear agenda in separating people, in gaining power over certain people, and clouding the reality of certain things in order to get people to vote for them. Let's just say that. While it can be hurtful, it is just noise and it's absolutely untrue. If you have to turn that stuff off, turn it off. Hang out with your cat or hang out with your dog instead. As this election season tightens and we get closer to November, it's possible that this topic is going to continue to percolate up into the surface. And know that you are not alone, that it's okay to be a childless dog lady and it's okay to be a childless cat lady. And if you need some support around it, click subscribe to this channel, Sandra's Sisterhood, which is a community for the single and childless, not by choice person. Say bye, everybody. Say bye.